Today we are going to check another interesting snippet release, the KS spinning wheel. And as you can see from the demo right here, we have this nice spinning wheel on the left side, which of course you can customize it exactly as you want, including the colors and of course the offers. And we have the normal Shopify newsletter block on the right side. Also, of course, we have just the newsletter pop-up snippet. If that might be the case for you, you might check that snippet out. But of course, having just the newsletter pop-up might not be interesting for most of the users and they just close it up. But providing some type of offer in returns, like a 10% discount or a free shipping option to them in return for them to subscribe to your newsletter, this might highly increase the chances that they are going to subscribe and be a customer on your store. So first we are going to check the installation, and then we are going to check the various settings and options that we have for these snippets, and of course how to customize this wheel right here. After you have downloaded the snippet file, double click to unzip it. Then here we have first the main section file, and also we have another optional file, a sound file that we can check a bit later on, but for the moment let's add the important file, the main section file. Copy the contents of the file, and from your Shopify admin, go to the theme you want to install it, edit code, and here all we have to do is create a new section called KS spinning wheel and paste the contents of the file. Okay, let's see and test the section that we have just added. Normally, to show the section on all pages, and that's what we want on most of the cases, we can add that section here on the footer block. But if you prefer to have on a special page or simply on the home page, add it here as a normal section under the template group here. Okay, let's add the section here. KS spinning wheel. And hit the save button here first. And as you can see, now the section is loading correctly. Okay, so let's see now the other optional step. Also, everything is included in this readme file. You might need to check that file if you prefer. Now here we have this sound file here, and that's a sound that happens when the wheel is spinning. So all you have to do here is go to the file section in your Shopify admin, and here we have to upload that sound file here. I have already done that, and it is this file here. And what we have to do here is simply copy the file, the whole file, or just the file name, and here we have to reference it in the settings, the sound file, and it will have a sound effect when spinning. But of course, this step is optional. You can just leave this text box empty, and it will not load any file, and it will not play any sound at all. Okay, that should be all for the installation. Next, we are going to check all the settings and the options that we have for this snippet. Okay, for the configuration, let's start first with this config group here. And we have here two important settings. We have first the delay in seconds, and that's the time it will wait before showing the modal at first. So for example, if I go here on the front end and hit refresh, normally it will wait 5 seconds before showing that modal window. Okay, and of course you can configure these settings. If you prefer to show immediately, just leave it 1 second here and it will show immediately. Of course, here on the theme editor it will show immediately because we're just testing here. And yes, and this setting here works in conjunction with this other setting below, the days to wait. So if the user interacts with this model, for example, it doesn't mean that he will subscribe or spin this wheel. They can just close the window, and in that case it will not show this model again until 30 days have passed. But you can configure the settings. For example, you can have it like 3 days here, and it will wait 3 days before showing this model again. And yes, that should be all for these 2 seconds. Also, another thing important to know is that because it will not show the model again, and in that case you might need to check it or test it or even show it in some way. You can just do so by entering the URL like this with a question mark after the URL and the name KS spinning wheel like this. And if that's the case, it will always show immediately the modal window all the time. Next we have here the heading and the settings for this heading here and for the description. The title, we can control here the heading size. Then you have this description here, and then you have an optional note that will show below the newsletter. And that's it for this part right here. Then we have the settings for the wheel on the left side. Here we can change the border width, the outer border width here. If you don't want to have a border at all, simply leave this to 0. Okay. Then we have here the border color, and the line width are this line inside the wheel, all these lines that separate the various offer. We can have a different style, for example, like this. Then we have here the line color. For example, we can style the wheel in a different way, for example like this, and have the border color with the same color, for example like this style right here. And also we are going to check a bit later on. We can change the colors for each of the items right here. So then we have here the spin slowly at start. As you can see now, the customer hasn't interacted with the newsletter, and the wheel is spinning slowly just to give a nice effect. If you don't want to do that, simply disable this option here. And as we saw on the installation part, we have an optional sound file that is included already on the snippet package, and you can upload that sound file here on the Shopify files section, like I have it right here, the KS spinning wheel sound, and you can reference that file here, either the full file name or simply only the file name like this. And in that case, it will play a sound when the wheel is spinning. Okay, then you have some settings here to control the dialog or the modal window. We have the background color. For example, you can have a different style for it. You can even invert the colors, for example, like this. You can have the background color in blue and have the foreground color or the text color white, and in this way you can have a different style section. We have the padding, or the spacing inside the model. Normally you don't need to change this. We have this maximum width setting here that you can control to prevent the model from growing too much. Normally it's 1100, and normally we don't recommend that you change this, but of course you can play a bit and see if it looks better otherwise. Then you have some option to control the text align for the right area here, and you have some option to control the border radius, this rounded corner here. If you don't want to have rounded corners, simply leave this to 0. And you have some settings for the box shadow for the model itself. You can increase or simply leave 0 if you don't want to have a border box shadow, sorry. Then you have here some settings for the backdrop, and the backdrop is this area here that underneath the modal. Normally you can have for that a different style as well. Let me refresh my browser. So we have the settings for the backdrop here, the background color, for example, I can have a different background for it, and the opacity for the background, and this blur effect that, as you can see here, the content underneath is blurred. We can disable that if you prefer. Then you have here some settings for the text. Normally you don't need to change this, but of course if you are using a different language and not English, you have to change this text here. Okay, that should be all for the main section settings, but of course these items here, each of these offers here are added as a block. And as you can see, you have here around 8 blocks, I think, 8 blocks here. And each of these blocks here is the corresponding offer that is inside the wheel. So for example, if I hide this one right here, they will show only these 5 remaining blocks. Okay, and each of these items have their own settings. For example, let's open the first one, and as you can see here we have the wheel item, and first we have the label, and this is the text that is showing on the wheel, which for the first item is 5% off. Then we have the background color that we can do a different style. For example, we can do a light background color like this, and the text color we can choose on the same hue. We can choose a darker shade like this, and as you can see now the item has a different style. And in this way you can control all these items. You can change the styling for all of them. Then here we have the settings after the spin, and we have seen all this video right now, but of course let's do a spin and see in fact how the wheel is spinning. So if I spin the wheel now, it will wait until it finish. Also it will do this nice confetti animation, and here are the settings that are shown after the spin. And we have here the title. In fact, we were lucky to select the first item on the spin. So here we are checking that out. So here is the title, and here is the description, And then you have the discount code here that either I can copy or I can click this button here and it will automatically apply the discount code for the customer. And you have here this enable confetti animation that is that happens after the wheel finishes spinning. Okay, so for example, here we have these winning items here, but of course you may also prefer to do an item like this where we say to the customers that you didn't have luck, and if that item was selected, we'll say here on the title, sorry, try another time, and along with the description. Normally we have to leave this field empty here and it will not show this whole area here. And also, of course, we don't want to celebrate that because the customer didn't win anything, so we have to disable this confetti animation. So yes, that's the way to build this spinning wheel. You might mix these offers as you prefer. For example, offer different discount options like we have here, 5%, 10% or even more. Also, you can offer a free discount offer like we have right here, and along with discount code. So you can mix these offers as you prefer. But of course, for each of these offers that we are showing to our customers, we need in the end to have the discounts created on the discounts in the Shopify admin, because otherwise we are not doing anything with these offers. So for each of our offers here, we have to create the discount code as we are showing to the customers. For example, if for the free shipping offer we are offering a free shipping, we have to the exact discount code, we have to create it here on the discounts. Shopify has already an option for to offer free shipping. We can select it here and have the same discount code, and also you need to adjust these settings accordingly to your own needs. The same thing for the options for 5%, 10% and more. You have to select here amount of order, provide the adequate discount code as you have on the section, and here it should be 5% from one time, or if you offer a subscription, select both, and you can adjust these other settings as you need them to be. Okay, I think we have explained all for this snippet. Thanks for watching.